The federal government continues to fight Captain Kimberly Fawcett to avoid paying for her prosthetic leg. But just wait till you see where Veterans Affairs has been spending money. The Liberal government is suddenly a bunch of fiscal conservatives, but only when it comes to spending money on things like military procurement and our wounded warriors. Case in point, the ongoing saga of Captain Kimberly Fawcett. She's been engaged in an ongoing battle with the federal government to pay for her prosthetic leg for nearly 10 years. So it's on the conservatives too. This is from the CBC article about her legal battle with the federal government. On February 21st, 2006, Fawcett had received permission to arrive late for work. She was carrying out a military-authorized family care plan, driving her infant son to be cared for by his grandparents. That task normally was carried out by Fawcett's husband, but he had been called to last-minute training prior to deployment to Afghanistan. On a highway ramp near Kingston, Ontario, Fawcett's vehicle slid on the ice and came to rest, blocking a passing lane. She tried to carry her son to the shoulder of the highway and up an embankment, but was struck by an oncoming vehicle. Fawcett's 9-month-old baby was killed that day, and she lost a leg. The details of that day are horrific. But yet, in the face of this unimaginable tragedy, Fawcett redeployed to Afghanistan for a second tour, this time with a prosthetic leg, the only Canadian woman to do so. And she went on to become a triathlete, competing in the Invictus Games. She's even climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. But Fawcett did all of those things in spite of her treatment by the Canadian government and the leaders of the country she served with distinction for so long. She's on the hook now for all of her prosthetics because the military bureaucracy won't pay for her bills. They argue she was not on duty at the time of her tragic accident, even though the initial military investigation found otherwise. This is from the Global News article on Fawcett's fight. A summary investigation ordered by the military found that, although Fawcett was not at her place of duty at the time of the accident, she was going about a matter related directly to service in the Canadian Forces, in that both travel to her son's daycare and then to the base were required activities to enable her to perform her military duties at work. The investigating officer continued that Fawcett should be considered on duty from the time she left home in uniform, as her activities were all in support of carrying out her military duties. Now, that initial finding was subsequently overturned by one of Fawcett's own commanding officers, spawning a decade-long fight for fair treatment. Like this NDP MP points out, Fawcett should be used in recruiting ads and not fighting the government for a new leg. Can you imagine? This situation and Captain Fawcett's treatment by the government is so appalling that even I find myself agreeing with the NDP. Now, I want to talk to you about an order paper question response about federal ministry photography expenses. These two stories are seemingly unrelated, but I'll put the two of them together for you. Just bear with me. The question comes again from Conservative MP Bev Shipley. If politics don't work out for him, he could be an investigative reporter. This is the question he asked. With regard to spending on photographers and photography services since June 1st, 2018, broken down by department or agency, how much has been spent? What were the dates and duration of each photography contract? What was the initial and then final value of each contract? What were the events or occasions which were meant to be photographed as a result of each contract? And what were the locations where the work was eventually performed? This is one huge document package of wasted taxpayer money on virtue signaling. But today it's so much more than that, because buried on page 144 of this order paper response is the amount Veterans Affairs spent on photography, mostly on the minister at the time, Trudeau's good buddy, Seamus O'Regan. Just look at this. It's over 2 pages. meticulously itemized line by line of photography expenses. All this money spent to craft a narrative to make it seem to the unsuspecting onlooker that this Liberal government is actually doing something for our veterans and our wounded warriors like Captain Fawcett. Let's take a look at some of these expenses, shall we? Now, in the interest of brevity, I won't go through them all, but we will, of course, the way we always do, attach the document in the text body of this story so that you can go through them for yourself and make up your own mind. August 20th, 2018, Veterans Affairs spent $660 to take pictures of O'Regan at a town hall in Kelowna. August 29th, Veterans Affairs spent $370 to take more pictures of O'Regan at a town hall in St. John's, Newfoundland. September 13th, Veterans Affairs spent $520 to take pictures of O'Regan at a town hall in Saskatoon. October 4th, Veterans Affairs spent $420 to take pictures of Seamus O'Regan at a Veterans Town Hall in Montreal. The next night, they spent another $240 to take more pictures of Seamus O'Regan at another Veterans Town Hall, this time in Sherbrooke, Quebec. Now, the last couple of expenses I'm going to talk about they're a touch ironic, to be honest. July 3rd, 2018, Veterans Affairs spent $160 to take headshots for the new chair and deputy chair of the Veterans Review and Appeal Board. Those are the people who say yay or nay to wounded veterans when they need help for things like prosthetics and disability benefits. October 16th, 2018, the ministry paid $940 to take pictures of the athletes leaving for the Invictus Games. Now, I wonder if Captain Fawcett was one of those athletes that day. In all, Veterans Affairs spent $31,572 in photography from June to January 2019, just 7 months. Nearly $32,000 to take pictures of one of Trudeau's best friends pretending to actually do something for Canadian veterans. Now, I think that money could have been much better spent, don't you? Because that amount that was spent on photography, it's pretty close to the $34,000 amount Captain Fawcett needs for her prosthetic leg. This is the growing GoFundMe to help her and to thank her for her service when her government just won't. Trudeau's government is fighting Fawcett while sparing no expense to turn Seamus O'Regan into an Instagram influencer. But I guess Captain Fawcett is just asking for more than Trudeau is willing to give. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Hey, did you know that there is yet another way to get your Rebel Media fix? Did you know that all of our premium content shows are available for free as downloadable podcasts? You can get those at therebel.media/listen, or you can find us on any of your favorite podcast directories. And while you're there, be sure to leave us a 5-star review. It's a great way to help us out here at The Rebel without ever having to spend a dime.